And welcome back to the hottest marriage show in our living room. It is I, John D, and Kanika, a.k.a. In Too Much Podcast. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's awesome. So what does your well look like this week?
Look, the weather is great, and we finally gotten outside to start doing landscaping. We've let our house kind of sit for a year and just watched it and decided what we want to do. And so this weekend, having spent days upon days lifting bricks and moving this and that, I hurt. But it's great. I've had so much sunlight. I love how it looks. Because we are the ugly house in the cul-de-sac, y'all. Landscaping wise. It's like nothing has been going on, but we just didn't know what to do with it. And so now that we've been working on it, it's been making me happy. I might be a gardener. I cannot keep a plant alive. But I might be a little bit of a gardener.
Yes, it's interesting because just to let you guys know, I grew up in an apartment. So that's going to be the ongoing understanding that, all of the information that I've acquired is through her ideas. And as a man, it's like, why are we doing this? And when I just let go and just kind of rode with what she wanted to do, I can see some of her vision. I can't see all of it because, like I said, I grew up in an apartment. So some of the things, she has lingo that I just don't understand because, her wheelhouse is now landscaping of a home.
It is.
So sometimes I'm like, she's looking at me with excitement and I don't understand. And if my face looks like anything other than excitement, she catches it and then her attitude changes and I don't even know what to do because I don't understand what she wants me to see. And it's like, how can I ask the right question without her overreacting just a tad bit because I can't see her vision yet?
It's so annoying. Have y'all ever told somebody something, you're like so excited, and then they come and they say, insert wet blanket here? That's John. That's John. I was like, and then he was like, I don't see it.
No, I didn't.
Why are you even trying that? That's not gonna work.
That's the way she's looking at it. And I'm like, I just don't understand. I like, because she changes her mind without telling me. So I'm trying to figure out, did we forget this? Did she move on? Like, what is it? Like, I can't, like, she should tell me. Like, I decided to change it from here. So then at least I know it wasn't that I forgot it. Because maybe I'm supposed to mention this because you did forget. You're like, you know what? That's what I was supposed to do. So then I don't want you to say, oh yeah, I changed my mind. I'm like, well, if we're sharing, thinking about ideas, I think, it's, so I just don't know sometimes. And, but to see what we're creating has been pretty dope. So I want to thank you for giving me culture, home culture, because I feel it.
He's not the only one thanking me. I think that not even silently, our neighbors are thanking us because 3 of the maybe 6 other families in the cul-de-sac have come over to discuss what we're doing and what our plans are. And they're like, we're so excited. I think this house has had maybe 5 or 6 owners in the 35 years it's been around, and they've all said no one has ever done anything to the front of the house. So I think we have fans already.
Yeah. So, well, I'm definitely a fan regardless if they are or not. I'm excited about seeing it mature. Like when it's like what it's supposed to look like. That's what I'm excited about. Like, I know we're like seasons away, but
we are.
It's pretty exciting to see what it could look like. I got a question for you. What was popular to you in high school?
In regards to what?
Like somebody was like, you're popular. What did those words look like if somebody was popular?
I think there were a lot of people that are popular for different reasons. Like, we didn't have like just the athletes or anything. I think the thing that set people apart was just how friendly they were, how well they got along with other people. Because we had like people who were, those who were like in more of so the AP classes, but they were still popular. Then you had the athletes. Then you had like, I guess the cheerleaders, yeah. But no, then you had like the student government. Band people were popular, but it was like just the ones who were really outgoing and friendly and knew everybody. So really your popularity was based on your ability to socialize with other people. It wasn't anything else.
Did you know that
set them
then?
apart.
Because it sounds so...
Because we knew we had, there were groups of people that we were all friends with one another, but we had our own groups. And none of the groups looked alike. Like, you weren't going to find, even there were some people who were like baseball players. Well, the baseball players would hang by themselves. Then you had the football players and the basketball players. But a lot of the times they intermingled because they were friends. And, you know, so you would see large groups. Our girls' basketball teams, we had some girls that used to like dance. You know, you have certain people. There were 3 girls. I will never forget them. They could dance their butt off. And they were very popular, but like 2 of them were athletes, I think. No, 1 was a cheerleader, 2 played basketball. Like, they just mixed and mingled everywhere, you know? So there was nothing that really said, oh, that's the popular group. It was people known all over the school. It just depended on whether or not you got along with other people. Could you mix and mingle?
So when I hear it, it's almost like you had like this beautiful utopia of high self-esteem students who were not.
No, I mean, but you know, there were other kids that, like, later on, I met people that they're like, you know, we went to high school together and I don't remember them. Or I'll remember a face, but I don't know what their name is or where they exactly came from. But it definitely wasn't the greatest. I mean, we didn't have the best time in the whole entire world. It wasn't like no 80s movie. But at the same time, if you ask me about popularity, I think about who's well known. Like, if somebody mentions your name, other people be like, yeah, I know them or whatever.
For sure.
In our case, I very seldom thought of someone. Well, I can't really imagine somebody where somebody be like, oh, yeah, I know them. They were an asshole. Like, it just, that just wasn't regular. It wasn't a utopia, though. It was definitely, there was definitely drama, you know, teenagers. So it wasn't great, but
when I think of popularity in high school, I think of like the teen movies I always watched as these groups or whatnot. And the way you described it, it seemed like there was always some liaison between each group. This was the real popular group. So
they had groups like, well, you had people who did mix and mingle, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you made it seem it's not like that in the movies. It's like somebody has to sell out to become this popular.
No, they didn't have to do that. Like, you were really able to be popular based on your interest in who you were. And you know what? Let me be honest. You know how somebody can talk about, I might be saying this, but there might be somebody who went to high school with me and was like, it was nothing like that. But from my eyes, it was.
I know. That's the reason why I'm asking as many questions to make sure I understand.
Well, the thing is I wasn't an athlete, but I dated athletes. I dated a drum major, a football player. I was a part of the student government senior year. I was in Black History club. My best friend, she played basketball.
So maybe you were just popular.
No, because I know that people knew me, but I wasn't somebody who liked to stand out in high school. I was definitely friendly and I knew a lot of people, but I didn't like to stand out at all. But I did like to like hang out with people there. If they're nice, they're nice. But I think that
Are you now associating popular with standing out? Because before you didn't, and now you would. I'd
no,
say that
I'm
you
just-
were popular. He's like, no, I didn't like to stand out. Why is that a requirement?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so the thing about it is like not everybody knew who I was. They knew of my group. They knew what group I belonged to or I tended to hang out with. We were always nice and cordial and speaking and stuff like that, but it didn't mean that I personally had relationships with these people. I was definitely able to hang with them, but somebody I would know would have relationships with this person. Like we had a group of people who were like musicians, more so like rappers and stuff like that. And they were coming up in that. I had friends who were dating some of them. So I could definitely, it was like degrees of separation were very, very few. You know, it's like two degrees of separation at most for most people. But when I say I wasn't.
But you were the degree.
What is that?
You were connected to everybody.
I was connected to people who were connected to people though. And I was very friendly, I think. I hope nobody ever was like, Kanika was not friendly. But I guess at the same time, I didn't talk to people though. Because I wasn't that one in my group. I could definitely be friends with you if we had hung out together or whatever. But in general, I was like a really, like, hey, how are you doing? Or da-da-da. And then I move on with my life.
I wonder, like, because prior to you mentioning that, I was thinking like you were almost a social butterfly because the way that you just interacted, how everybody was related and all of this, you would swear that you were orchestrating all of this and you were just an innocent bystander that described all of what was going on in your perspective.
Yeah, in my perspective, like I was definitely around. I definitely knew people and they knew me, but it wasn't like, oh, that we got to call Kanika to come out with us to do it. I wasn't that person.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why are you associating that with popular now?
Well, I know because I recognize that there were different people that I recognized. I didn't see everybody as running around being popular. That wasn't how I looked at high school. But did you know that person? That was as far. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll say this. To I guess relieve some pressure off because I didn't mean it to go this way, but at one point I did look at popularity as the person that's out on the scene and everybody knows. But when I was talking to Dallas one day and I told him you're already going to be popular when you enter high school because your sister goes there. Everybody knows your sister is the girl that dresses differently or has a lot of personality. Now, they don't know that she has a brother yet, but when he gets there, it was like, so who's that kid? It's like, oh, I heard that's Dae's brother. Then all of a sudden, there's going to be a population of kids that know who you are. You have no idea that you've already become popular amongst people because your sister's already there. So I look at popularity as in like what you described. People know who you are, but you don't have to know that everybody knows who you are. And the point of me asking was because I know that when I looked at movies growing up, I never had the self-esteem issues that a lot of people had. The views that they had at the popular kids, to me, I felt like I got along with everybody also. And I felt like I was the kid that you could really be a friend with. But the movies don't always, it makes it seem like it's so difficult to be the popular person that can really get along. They make popular kids look like somebody you don't want to become.
Well, that's what I was saying when I was like, it's not like the 80s movies because when I think of people talking about, oh, they're popular, movie-wise, it doesn't necessarily mean they're nice. It doesn't necessarily mean everybody. It's like this untouchable person or, you know, sometimes it's the really nice girl. Sometimes it's the really, like, nasty girl. The guy, same way. With me, it was just like, are you known?
Yeah.
Simply.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, but watching a movie will make people think.
Were you popular?
Who, me? Oh yeah, absolutely. I was going to be popular. That was Like I was just too loud.
You were loud and you were friendly.
Yeah. But you could, like, when people say, he act like this because of that, you be like, no, it isn't. I act like this because I think this is fun. And I look back now as an adult like, dang, I wish I didn't act like that. And now I understand what they were saying. That just shows you how immature I could not understand why they would say that. And but yeah, my popularity came from, in my opinion, because of my girlfriend my freshman year, because she was attractive and very popular. So now I just thought about it. That's how everybody found out who I was. Because if she's already popular and it's the kid that's her boyfriend, then everybody knows who I am now. But I didn't look at it that way because I was already talking to everybody. But I guess everybody was already friendly to me. Upperclassmen didn't like me though. Upperclassmen guys didn't like me at all. But I played basketball, so a lot of them found out that I was cool. So, but being that I didn't play football, a lot of the upperclassmen football players definitely didn't like me because I was loud and I had the attractive girlfriend.
How long did you have her?
Just that year.
Y'all were together the whole year?
No, I guess I don't know, maybe like October to like.
Oh, early year.
Yeah, she found me. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That was when I was like, look.
That sounds like an 80s movie.
Look, check this out. So that was like what's so crazy. It was like right on how things happen. Remember, I used to be really conceited, and then I felt like I couldn't be conceited anymore because my mother didn't like it. And then this attractive young lady finds me attractive, and I'm like, this is weird. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ever think I'm attractive again.
Because it's drawing the energy I want.
No lie. But I didn't realize, I guess I kind of figured it out as I got older. But yeah, she definitely made me popular. After that, I was playing basketball anyway, so it's really difficult to not be popular. And I was at a school that it was like 400 minorities out of 2,000, so it was majority white. Yeah, I was junior prom king. That's one of my claim to fame. I went to a predominantly white school, and I was junior prom king. That's pretty. And you know what's so crazy? I wasn't. You wouldn't consider me like, one of the black kids that hung with the white people. Like I really did just hang with black people, but I was cool with all the white people. Like it wasn't like any white people asked me to come over their house, so it wasn't like I could have friends like that. So it wasn't like I was avoiding it, but it just seemed that my company it was just the basketball team and then women. That's all. That's what it was. It was my group. Which most of us played basketball, and then girls. That was the two groups. If you weren't in that, then you were enemies.
Dang.
It wasn't not enemies. It was just like you don't even really count.
For you,
in our group, yeah, we only cared about basketball or girls. So if you didn't fall in there, it's just like you were just, hey, what up? Like we weren't gonna break bread with you.
Okay.
Because we don't have anything in common.
But you told me, wasn't it in high school that you used to, at lunch, you would go sit with a certain group, like to start the day off and,
Oh, yeah. No, well, I mean, I spoke to everybody, but I'm saying as a group, like we didn't associate with guys.
Oh, okay. It
was just like girls. But like me, like I was just a social butterfly. So I spoke with all the handicapped kids.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, those disabilities. You were like,
oh yeah,
make sure you hung out with them.
I did, and I didn't know what I was just doing it because I was being nice.
Yeah. But so you really made yourself known to a lot of different groups.
I did. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I really did have a good heart. I did.
You'll find John say that a lot. He'd be like, hey, for real, I really was a good guy.
I was.
Just want y'all to know.
Well, the only time I took advantage of any situation is because I didn't have any other options, or I was just too stupid, and that was the option that I took. But overall, I do want favorable outcomes for all parties involved.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I was pretty popular. Even my senior year when I left, when I moved to Saginaw, I became popular fairly quick because these kids, they all grew with each other from kindergarten.
And that's hard to break. You come in senior year and yeah.
Yeah. This kid is so crazy. He said, "Hey man, you seem cool. I'm gonna let you hang with me."
I love that. I love that confidence. Let me just collect
in my
you
head,
right
I
now.
was like, he don't even know who I am. In my head, I'm like, all right, if you say so. We on the bus. But you know what's so crazy? That was the last time we rode the bus. He was like, "Man, my car's in the shop. You ain't got to worry about this anymore." I was like, "Actually, I got a car too, but it's broken."
It got me here, but it's broken.
Yeah. So, popularity, it always found me, but it was a lot more. It was easier as I got older because it was just because I was filled with personality. At least that's the way that I look at it.
Lord, yeah, personality.
Do you think that the kids look at popularity in the way that we were taught to look at it, like from the movies? Like, do they think they're popular? Do they want to be popular? Do they have self-esteem issues because of whatever? How do you think they look at it, or do they care?
I don't think Dae cares. I don't think Dallas cares to be popular. I think he likes to be in the background as well. But how they look at people being popular, I don't know. I would have to ask the kids, like, who's popular at your school? I wonder how they would define it. I know for Dallas, his thing was he never really talked about people being popular. I think because they're very open to everybody. So anybody could, to them, be someone to know. I don't think that that's even, they definitely won't even watch an 80s movie. I tried to make them. And none of that even crosses their mind. So if they have a concept of being popular, it's probably from one of their shows they used to watch from the Disney Channel or something. But they don't talk about that at all.
No doubt.
I don't think there's anybody that Dae has ever said, "Oh, they're popular at our school," or I know Dallas hasn't.
Yeah, so I guess when I look back at high school, remember Dallas was like, "What's your least favorite part of high school?" Mm-hmm. And it started making me think, like, because to me, I felt like I had a great high school life. Even though when I moved my senior year, that was a culture shock. Like, I went from white people to just black people. And it was like very few white people, and they were influenced by the culture. And it was just like, wow. But I still felt like I had great years throughout high school. And I only want them to have that same feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, the days that you have that are bad, you don't think about. You just think about, like, because I did have some bad days, but it's nothing for me to say that I didn't have a great high school career.
Yeah.
You know, so that makes me, that's the reason why I asked you about popularity. Like, what does that look like to them that maybe we can get them to enjoy school a little more, other than like, you know, Dae, to me, I feel like it's a countdown for her.
Dae does not, Dae will do well in school, but she does not care for it. She be like, this is literally her job. She's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's Dae, but she does really, really well.
She does really well.
But yeah, she
her
doesn't care for
grades
it.
would not make you think that she could care less about it.
But she is on a countdown. I feel like Dallas is going to be that same, because Dallas keeps reminding us. He's like, Dae's almost, by the end of this year, this time next year, she's going to be on her way to being senior. This time next year, I'm like, dang, you trying to get everybody out? What's happening? But I don't think that school is their favorite place to be. There are other places they would rather be. I think they're very much more so they can adapt to their environment and do what they need to do, but their preference is definitely not that type of environment. That's not what we're going to see.
It's almost like they need a me in their life
that
has good intent, that will help them find trouble, and they'll keep me off that dumb track.
Hey, we thought we had one of them.
We'll protect.
We thought we had one of them.
Like, that's the balance of it. They need
to balance one another. But yeah, I think so. I think that is what they need. But they'll figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. We hope.
Oh my God, yeah.
I tell you, like, the things that we have to worry about, it's definitely a lot.
It's not what we thought we would.
No. And at least we're thinking about it, and we can participate and try to help them, because I am afraid of helping too much. Like, taking their own creativity away from something, or like, because you just don't know what you're doing. You just hope that, if I give you this is not going to cripple anything else, that your creativity, if I didn't give you this, how are you going to find it? You know what I'm saying? But if you give it to them, it was going to take away the creativity. Were you really going to get to the goal, or did I take that away from you by giving it to you? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to give them too much, but I want to give them enough to be able to like take it and be appreciative and grow with it. So, like, the crippling part is the most tough. It's the most difficult part of parenting for me right now.
I think we're at the point where it's like when they're riding a bike and you're holding the back of the seat and you're hoping that, you're going to you need to let go at some point. At least they ain't on no training wheels. Like, I don't know where we are with certain situations. I feel like our kids are on training wheels, but other ones I feel like I'm really, really confident in them that soon I'll be able to let the back of the seat go.
Well, I mean, even if we let it go, I just hope that
I'm going to run next to the bike.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Is that bad?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know where it is, but I do know that we're going to have to let it go. Because if we don't, like, it's a lesson they got to get out of it somehow.
Well, I feel like I'm in my 40s now, and when I think about me and my brothers and our relationship to my mom definitely has let the seat go, but she runs full speed next to that bike. she's always, I never worry that she's not gonna be there for me. Not that I need her to, because I can ride on my own.
So what makes you think she's running next to it then? Because
when I move through life and I talk to my mom about my situations, my mom is very, she gives advice. Sometimes she's just quiet. But she always leaves that door open where, like, if you need this from me, let me know.
I know, but that's what you consider running next to you?
Because I feel like my mom, when she recognizes in those moments where I am, as an example, in 2014, remember I was really, really stressed out and I felt like I was losing it. And I'm like, I have to get out of here. And my mom, I talked to her a lot. And so she was seeing me kind of spiraling. And so she talked to me here, there, whatever. And I remember I told you, I said, I'm leaving. I'm going on a trip somewhere. I don't know where I'm going, but I need to be by myself. And so I was talking to her on the phone about it. And I said, this is what I'm about to do. And she was like, I'm going with you. Like, I'm not going to let you go anywhere to a different country by yourself. So I'm going to go with you. And I was like, well, Mom, I really just want to go to a beach. I want to just sit there. I want to read. I don't want to think. She was like, that's what we'll do. And so when we went, every day we sat on the beach and we read and we ate and we drank. We barely talked. And because she wanted me to be able to get what I needed, but she wasn't going to have me going somewhere by myself. And there were conversations we had that I really needed. I didn't know I needed them then. I felt like I just needed complete silence. But she literally let me just be. Because I think my mom even understands what it's like to need to just be and everybody leave you alone. But that to me was my mom running beside me. And she didn't grab the seat. She didn't tell me where I needed to go. She didn't tell me what I needed to do. I moved through, I think we were gone for like 4 days. It was all wherever I wanted to take myself or do or not do. She was like, I'm down with that. I'll just be sitting right here. She have her book. We wouldn't say nothing. And it's not that she couldn't talk to me. We talked at dinner. We talked a lot. But she was just running beside me. And I appreciate that. So crazy. I'm just not realizing that, though. But in that case, I know that I'm never going to be left hanging. I know that I'm never going to be looking around like trying to figure out, even in cases where you can't help me, like I don't have any idea what I'm doing next. Nope. I know she's always going to be there. And for as long as she breathes breath, she'll always be running next to me.
So I was trying to figure out the many ways I was going to take that, and I took it as like I can see how people's like, dang, she doesn't have faith in her husband, and I was like,
oh no,
I know, okay. But I was like, how's somebody going to? Like, I'm going to feel like that for my own kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah.
I have to look at it as in a way where you know that your mother, because I don't have that feeling. You know what I'm saying? For you to have it, it would be unfair of me to feel like it's something. I feel like at some point, like, hopefully I can give that feeling to our kids from my behalf, because even though I didn't have it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like both my parents make me feel that. So that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to that relationship.
Yeah. My dad, I never got that from him. But what I would say is the uniqueness about me feeling that way about her versus you is she was there with me with my training wheels. And she ran, like we've talked before about helping the kids to a certain level. She was there from the beginning, and she's guided me through my life. Whereas when I'm looking at you and I, we're running next to each other. Like, it's our job to run next to our kids. This is the role that I'm talking about. So I'm glad that you took it that way. Not saying that I couldn't depend on. I can definitely depend on you, but there are times when
I understand.
Yeah, it's that developing.
No, that's what I'm
person.
saying. Like, like it made me feel like. I know that it's not an attack on me, but if people could look at it in the most negative way, I wanted to make sure that I brought it to life, that I thought about that.
Yeah.
But I understand it shouldn't be taken that way. So I don't want anybody to take anything out of context, because I love you.
Oh, I know.
And I know you love me. So
when I was thinking of that, it was strictly of a parent to a child relationship.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I definitely plan on running full speed next to Dae and Dallas. Full speed.
I'm sure. Anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
I want to give a shout out to Birdie, my mom, because that girl be running. I'm gonna tell her about how she be running later on when I see her today, because I want her to really know. You know, sometimes you know that song, "Give Me My Flowers So I Can Smell the Beauty That They Bring," and people usually, say great things about people once they pass away, and they can't do nothing with them flowers. They can't smell them. They can't enjoy them. But I really want to make sure that I give people their flowers now. So I got to make sure I talk to her about that when we get over there today.
Definitely.
You?
Shout out to the relationship we're creating, that our kids are able to see where they can have better practices when they have the relationship they have in, because we're just finding all of this, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to see how we've grown and how we can appreciate where we are, I feel like they'll benefit the most. So shout out to everything that's developing right before our eyes.
Yeah, great. I agree.
Yeah. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or that action will get after you. Be great on purpose. Boom.